Imagine the scene. It is not a good day.
No.
In fact, let's be honest, it might be one of the worst days you've had in a long, long time.
You're far from home.
You're far from home, maybe you're on that dream vacation, maybe you've just moved for work. But right now, none of that matter.
Because physically, you are compromised. Your head hurts.
Yeah.
And I don't mean a little annoyance. It is thumping. You feel hot, feverish.
And we all know that feeling. When you're sick, your brain just doesn't fire on all cylinders.
Pain has a nasty way of clouding the mind just when you need it most.
Exactly. You feel vulnerable. You walk through those automatic glass doors of a pharmacy. The lights are, that really aggressive fluorescent white.
Clinical.
So clinical. And the shelves are just packed with boxes all covered in words you don't recognize.
And there, behind the high counter, is the pharmacist. White coat, looks busy.
Very efficient. And suddenly your throat just tightens up.
This is the fear. It's a very specific, primal type of anxiety.
It really is.
It isn't just about being sick. It's the fear of being helpless. You don't have the words to fix the problem.
You're scared of buying the wrong thing or, accidentally treating a headache with laxatives or something.
Or worse, just not being understood at all and walking out empty-handed.
And that is the hook for our deep dive today. We're looking at a fascinating set of materials called the emergency.
And this isn't your standard textbook lesson. The mission here is completely different.
It feels different. It feels like it's about survival.
It is. The core argument is, well, quite radical for a language guide.
Yeah.
That you do not need to be a doctor.
Okay.
You do not need to be fluent. In fact, it argues that if you try to be perfect, you will fail.
Wow.
Hesitation is the enemy. If you hesitate in this moment, you stay sick.
If you hesitate, you stay sick. That is such a high-stakes way to frame a lesson. It really strips away all the vanity of trying to sound good.
Precisely. It
Yeah.
focuses entirely on utility, on getting healthy.
So our goal here is to unpack the logic behind this method. The source material claims you only need 2 sentence structures to survive.
Just 2 specific structures.
Okay, that sounds suspicious. Just 2. The English language is a beast. Can you really navigate a medical emergency with 2 phrases?
The author insists you can. They argue that we need to strip away all the complexity and focus on the architecture of the request.
The architecture, I like that.
It divides the whole interaction into the problem.
And the solution.
Exactly.
Okay, let's unpack this. Let's start with the problem. What's the magic phrase?
The first structure is, I have.
I have. That's it. 2 words.
It is deceptive, isn't it? It feels almost too simple. But if we dig into the linguistics, it's doing a lot of heavy lifting.
How so?
When you walk up to that counter, the pharmacist needs data, symptoms. They don't need a narrative. They need to know what you possess.
That's a really interesting way to put it. You possess the illness.
Correct. In English, we treat the illness as an object. You hold it. And the rule from the text is absolute.
Yeah.
I have. Only for the body part or the symptom.
So it creates a boundary.
It does. It defines the problem as something separate from you.
So I shouldn't go up there and say, my head is hurting me so bad right now.
No. And here's why. My head is hurting is a description of an experience. It's subjective.
Right.
It's complex, grammar continuous verbs, possessive adjectives. In a high-stress environment, that is where you stumble.
But I have a headache.
Is a statement of fact. It's a transaction. You're objectifying the pain.
I have a headache. I have a fever.
Exactly. Look at the example of a fever. You feel hot. In your own language, you might say, I am burning up.
Sure.
But I have a fever turns that symptom into a noun. It's a thing you were presenting to the pharmacist to be fixed.
It's almost like you're handing them a broken toaster. I have a broken toaster. I have a fever. Fix it.
That is a perfect analogy. You are presenting the broken item. Now, the source material suggests something here that I think we should try. It calls for a repetition loop.
A loop. What's that?
The idea is that just understanding the logic isn't enough. You need muscle memory.
Oh, I get it. So when the pain hits, your brain doesn't try to translate, it just acts.
It needs to be a reflex.
Okay, I love this. Let's test it. So, listener, we're going to simulate the pressure of that pharmacy right now. Don't just listen. Speak.
I will say the phrase. Then there will be a silence. A void. I want you to fill that silence with your voice.
Commit to it.
Here's the first one. I have a headache.
Go ahead. Say it out loud now.
Did you say it?
Or did you just think it? There's a difference.
Try again. Louder. I have a headache.
Good.
Good. Now let's try the other key one. I have a fever.
Your turn.
I have a fever.
Say it.
It feels simplistic, doesn't it? But notice what's happening. You aren't searching for verbs. You aren't conjugating. You are just declaring the object.
It anchors you.
It does.
Okay, so we've established the problem. We've told the pharmacist, here is the broken thing. But that doesn't get me the pills. I'm still standing there with a headache.
Right. You've stated the problem. Now you must demand the fix. This brings us to structure 2, the solution.
This is where we get active.
Yes. The dynamic changes from passive to active.
And the phrase is,
I need.
I need. Again, very direct, almost aggressive.
It can feel that way, especially if you come from a more indirect culture.
Right, with lots of, would you mind, or could I possibly?
But the source material is adamant.
Uh-huh.
You are in pain. You are not browsing for perfume. I need cuts through the noise. It signals your objective.
So what are we asking for?
The most basic example, I need medicine.
I need medicine. It's a blanket statement. It puts the responsibility on the pharmacist to find the right medicine.
Precisely. But there is an escalation. What if you realize this is beyond over-the-counter help?
That's a scary moment.
The phrase becomes, I need a doctor.
That is a crucial distinction. I need a doctor. That changes the entire trajectory of the evening. That's maybe an ambulance or a taxi to the ER.
It is. These are phrases of power. They get you what you require. Shall we run a loop?
Yes. Listener, get ready. Jump into the silence.
I need medicine.
Your turn.
I need medicine.
Again.
Now escalate it. The situation is more serious.
Yeah.
I need a doctor.
Heh.
I need a doctor.
Don't hesitate.
Excellent. Now this is where the source material gets really interesting. There is a section called the prohibition.
The prohibition. That sounds pretty ominous.
It is a strict rule about what you must not do. And frankly, this is where most people fail.
Oh, I found this part fascinating because it goes against everything we usually do in conversation. We want to connect, right? Tell stories.
But the text here says, do not tell a story. It calls it the narrative trap.
The narrative trap.
It's the most common mistake. Beginners want to explain the context. The source gives a specific example of someone saying, yesterday I ate some bad fish, and now.
Oh, I can totally see myself doing that. You want to justify it. You want to say, hey, I'm not just sick. I'm a victim of that shady shrimp cocktail at the airport.
Exactly. You want empathy. But think about it from the pharmacist's perspective. They are troubleshooting a biological machine.
They're not your therapist.
Not at all. When you start talking about yesterday and fish, you're introducing past tense verbs, complex timelines, irrelevant vocabulary. You are muddying the water.
You're throwing noise into the signal.
Completely. The pharmacist hears fish, thinks allergy. Here's restaurant, thinks, is he asking for a recommendation?
So by trying to explain why I'm sick, I'm actually making it harder for them to help me.
Yes. The text is brutal on this point. It says, stop, point to your stomach, and simply say,
I have stomach pain.
that is all. That one sentence replaces the entire 3-minute story about the bad fish dinner. It focuses on the reality of the moment.
The symptom is primary, the cause is secondary. That leads us perfectly into the next section of our deep dive, which the notes call the warmth. Because I have to be honest, stripping your language down like this, it feels a little robotic, a little cold.
It does. It's efficient, but it lacks humanity.
And being sick is a deeply emotional experience. The text actually acknowledges this. It says, being sick in a new country is lonely.
Which is a profound insight for a survival guide. It validates that feeling. You are a human being who feels vulnerable and frightened.
And because of that vulnerability, sometimes words just fail, even the simple ones, which is why the source highlights nonverbal communication.
This is your safety net. The text reminds us that pharmacists are smart. They are professionals who read body language for a living.
I love the example they give. It says, if you forget the word for throat, because in a panic, vocabulary is the first thing to go, what should you do?
You put your hand on your throat. You make physical contact with the source of the pain. And you say, it hurts.
That combination, the gesture plus that simple phrase, is universally understood. It works anywhere.
It bridges the gap. It takes the pressure off your memory. You don't need to scan your brain for tonsils or esophagus. Just point.
There's one more critical phrase in this section, and honestly, I think this might be the most valuable sentence in the whole deep dive.
Is it serious?
Is it serious? Why does the source elevate this specific question so much?
Because it liberates you from the burden of diagnosis. As a foreigner, you don't know the baseline. Is a fever in a tropical country just a flu? Or is it dengue, malaria? You don't know.
And panic sets in. You start Googling symptoms.
which is always a terrible idea.
Always.
Asking, is it serious, invites the pharmacist to give their professional assessment of the danger level.
It helps you decide if you just need to go home and sleep or if you need to call that ambulance. It gives you psychological safety.
Let's practice that one. It's too important to skip. Listener, this is your safety check.
Ask the question.
Is it serious?
Your turn.
Once more. Is it serious? Now, we are going to move into the most active part of this deep dive. The source material calls this the drill.
This is where we put it all together. The notes mention something called the 3-second rule. Can you explain that?
The 3-second rule is about connection, not perfection. It's a training method. In a real emergency, silence is your enemy.
Right.
If the pharmacist asks you a question and you stand there for 10 seconds trying to conjugate a verb, the interaction stalls. They might lose patience.
So the goal is to respond within 3 seconds, even if it's imperfect.
Yes. Even if it is simple, even if it's just pointing, you must maintain the flow of communication.
Okay, we are going to simulate this. Let's role-play the pharmacy right now.
I will act as the pharmacist. I'll be direct. I'm a busy professional.
And I'll set the scene. Listener, you are the patient. We're going to give you a prompt, and then leave that silence. Jump into it with the correct structure.
Remember your tools. I have for symptoms. I need for solutions.
Okay. Close your eyes for a second. Imagine the smell of rubbing alcohol. Hear the little bell on the door. Ding dong! You're walking up to the counter. The pharmacist looks up. They look at you.
Hello. How can I help?
Tell them about your head. 3 seconds. Go. Did you say it? The correct response was, I have a headache.
Let's try another. I am looking at you, waiting. There's a line building up behind you. What do you need?
Ask for the solution. The pills. Go.
Oh.
The answer was, I need medicine, please. Did you remember to add please? Always nice, even when you feel terrible.
Let's do one more. This one has some context.
Okay, imagine I'm coughing. A lot. Cough, cough, cough. You sound terrible. You look pale.
You sound bad. What is wrong?
It's a cold. Tell him. You have 3 seconds. Correct response, I have a cold.
If you manage to get those phrases out within the silence, you have passed the drill. You have survived.
And if you didn't, that's okay. That's why we're here. You can rewind and do it again. The rule isn't about speed. It's about overriding your fear.
Which brings us to the outro of our source material. We've navigated the crisis.
Yes. The text says, you got the medicine. You are safe.
It is a moment of relief. The immediate danger is past. You have the box in your hand.
But as life goes, as soon as one problem is solved,
Another one begins. The source notes transition us very quickly back to reality. It says, now you need to organize your life.
the urgency of the sickness is gone, but the urgency of the schedule takes over. The notes mention the train leaves at 9:00, the meeting is at 10:30.
It is a reminder that health is just the foundation. Once you are healthy, you have to function. You have to be on time.
And that's our teaser for the next set of materials. The source explicitly states that the next lesson is time and schedules.
So we go from I need medicine to what time is the meeting? It's the natural progression.
Before we wrap up, I just want to circle back to one thing. We talked about I have and I need, but the theme here really seems to be about confidence.
It's about permission. The source material is giving the learner permission to be simple.
Permission to stop trying to sound like a native speaker.
Exactly. And just be effective.
Connection, not perfection. That really sticks with me.
When you are in pain, nobody cares about your grammar score. They care about helping you. By using these simple structures, you are helping the pharmacist help you.
You're being a good partner in your own healthcare.
You are a team. You and the pharmacist solving a problem.
So next time you feel that tickle in your throat far from home, don't panic. Don't try to write a novel. Remember the 2 structures.
I have.
And
Heidi.
and don't forget the question that keeps you safe.
Is it serious?
Simple tools for complex problems. I love it.
It is the best way to learn.
So here's a thought to leave you with, something that wasn't explicitly in the text but feels really relevant.
Yeah.
We talked about the pharmacy. But have you ever thought about how these same 2 structures, I have and I need, apply to almost every other service interaction?
That's fascinating. It's a universal algorithm.
Think about it. You walk into a hotel, I have a reservation, I need a room. You walk into a train station, I have a ticket, I need a seat.
The logic holds up perfectly. You state your possession and you state your requirement. It cuts through the confusion in any language.
Something to think about. You might be using the emergency script more often than you think, even when you're perfectly healthy.
Indeed. It's a tool for life, not just for sickness.
Thanks for listening to this deep dive. We'll catch you in the next one, where we will be watching the clock.
Goodbye for now.